Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are back on a Monday to discuss another great episode of Godfather of Harlem, Season 3, Episode 4, entitled Captain Fields. And I'm calling his ass Captain Feel Goods, okay? He he comes up there acting like he's high and mighty, taking stuff out on the black folks, when all the while, and I do mean all the while, he was a bought man. Uh-oh. And here's an unbought man coming through, ladies and gentlemen. He can't nobody buy this brother off. He's not going to sacrifice too many of his principles, ladies and gentlemen. You know him. It's the living legend, Larry, in the building. What's up?
What's going on, man? How you feeling?
Good, man. How about yourself?
Good, man. I
How'd
like
you
that
like
wide
this?
view. I can see your play button in the background.
Yeah. I've been at this thing a long time, man. If I don't know how to set stuff up, I need to quit. So how are you feeling this season, Big Larry, in particular this episode? How are you feeling about it so far?
I like it. It's I really thought it was interesting that whole dynamic that played out with Bumpy and the new police captain.
Mhm.
And I don't know if I'm jumping up too far ahead, but I really enjoyed that conversation they had where
Mhm.
the police captain, who was coming off to him all high and mighty, talking about, I know who you are. You have a rap sheet that's long as this and that. And then we find out this dude's hands aren't clean. And, and his reasoning behind it, I partially understand, where he's like, look, if I don't take it, then I can't relate to the other guys. They're not going to listen to me. It's going to be tough. I get that. But at the same time, it's like, how are you going to try and tell people to do what you say and not what you do?
Exactly. I mean, Larry, we the world is full of hypocrites like that. We full of
Yeah.
them. That would be like a trainer being fat telling you to get in shape.
Yeah.
That would be like a Navy ship conductor telling you to fly an airplane. Okay, like, stop it, dude, stop it. And I love every minute of how Bumpy had to at the very end slapstick that ass back in place. Loved every minute of it. And we're going to get to all those good things, ladies and gentlemen. But first, let me shout out an outstanding crowd. Very grateful to you all showing up. Pretty much most of the nights I come up here and do this. Right now, we're clocking in at about 42. Please make sure you give us 42 likes. Thanks, everybody, for being in the building. Me and Larry are going to make sure we keep this thing real good. And we will have our resident local late diva pop in here as a diva does, red carpet style, late in a few minutes. And she's listening, so I'm saying this so that she can come up here and fuss me out. So let's get this thing going. So Big Larry, let me take you to a clip. There was a lot of stuff I could replay, but I'm gonna take you to one that I want to replay now, when we saw just how down for the cause Jose Battle is with Bumpy. I enjoyed this.
African leaders, our problem is your problem. You will never be fully respected until and unless we are also respected. And be divided or work in solidarity as African brothers and sisters the world over.
Now, during all that, Larry, Jose Battle was waterboarding. Did you see that?
Yeah, he did.
Did you see the look on Bumpy's face? But Bumpy sat back and like, oh, really?
This is some newness.
Yeah. I'm gonna just sit back and let you do it. Oh, okay. Well, Larry, somebody wants to come say hi.
Oh, look at that.
You gonna say hi?
Hi.
Okay. You gonna tell Larry and the people the kinds of stuff you've been doing today? What you been doing today?
I went outside.
You went outside?
Yeah.
And what else you do? Oh, you shy now?
Did you swim today?
Now? Did you swim today?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Who gave you a bath today? Daddy. Huh? Mommy.
Yeah, Mom.
Mommy didn't give you no bath today. Daddy did. Okay, El, time to get out of here, baby. We'll see you later. The audience said that. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. See ya. Okay. Anyway, let's take this thing from the top, Larry. I know you got a lot to say about some things that happened. And Larry, I hate to do this to you, and I hope your wife is not listening. But Larry, did you get a good look at this right here?
Man, I'll tell you. I feel like they didn't give her enough screen time during this episode. You know, I feel like every episode we need to have her on screen for like, if it's a 50-minute episode, just make her on screen for about 35, 40 minutes of it. She can even just be in the background somewhere, just chit chat. Just have her on screen.
Larry, when they did bring her on screen for this scene right here, did you see her when she first walked to the door in that robe to tell Bumpy, maybe you should go? Larry, I was like, I know Larry gonna love. Me and Larry gonna love Larry. Good God Almighty, boy!
I'll tell you, boy, Bumpy must be spoiled or something, boy, because he spends way too much time out of the house. You know.
Hey, he's a businessman.
I might sell that business. I might sell it retired.
Dude is a straight businessman. But let's take it from the top, man. This bum, Joe Colombo, he's a problem, Larry. He's obviously being billed as the greatest adversary to Bumpy in Harlem this season. And in the very beginning, they know that they got old Frenchy black dude coming back that thinks he's more high and mighty than the blacks in America. And he's coming back with a huge shipment. And so he is telling the other bosses, y'all effed up and let Bumpy mess that up. And I got a way to take care of Bumpy now. They got this new Negro police officer in there, and I got him under my control, and I got his officers under my control. Larry, talk to me about the way you felt when they set the precedence of how this episode was going to go.
Yeah, I feel like we knew that Bumpy was not going to play that game with this dude. Like, he was not. He was. I mean, he might have had a tougher time if it was a new police captain that was white and he didn't really know him. He might have. But bringing a black dude in, I mean, Bumpy was like, you can be who you are, but let's not forget, you live in my neighborhoods. You know. When you walk down the street and you go to the grocery store and you get gas in your car, all those people, those are my people, you know?
My people. Mm-hmm.
And, you know, and it was just funny to see how he responded to him, especially when he tried his initial front, when he was trying to flex on Bumpy a little bit, talking about, I know who you are and all that. And Bumpy was basically like, if you don't get control of your officers, I will, you know? And he pretty much did. I mean, that's just the way it is. It's like Bumpy was letting him know, like, look, I came to you. I tried to be straight up with you and be legit. You know, I didn't want to do this, but, you know, my wife was telling me, come here. You're an honorable man and all that. So I came, and dude wanted to try and play him to the left. So Bumpy was like, all right, cool. I got you. Right. And that was it.
So Joe Bonanno, ladies and gentlemen, he's setting himself up. Colombo, excuse me. He's setting himself up for a death wish. If Bumpy don't get him, Jose Battle gonna get him. Battle axe Jose. And I still think there's an outside chance Stella might get him. Even though, Larry, I can't lie, Stella extremely disappointed me this episode. I was extremely by the end of this episode, I was very disappointed in Stella's behavior. Very disappointed.
Really?
Yes. And we'll talk about that when we get there. So, Larry, Joe sends his goons down there to shoot up the Larry. These fuckers coming there shooting up the Geechee, Larry. Not only did they shoot it up, but they robbed them of the tip jar. Come on, man. Now that is some low life 2-bit criminals right there. You up here hiding behind the badge, robbing the Geechee, taking the girls' tip money. Larry, talk to me about these clowns. You knew that these clowns was going to get it.
Yeah, this is one of those things that was just I think this was just a colossal failure and miscalculation on Columbo's part to send these dudes there. Like, they could have sent them to some other place. Maybe if he was at like some barbershop or something, or pulled him over while he was driving, something. But this place is like one of those places that's off limits. You don't mess with the Geechee. It's cool. It's clean. It's, for all we know, he keeps everything, all the paperwork and everything on the up and up. It's all legit. It may be bought with dirty money, but everything is legit. But you're there. He's actually in the club. He's there with he's in there with Che Guevara. Just joking, but he's in there with the Cuban dude. And he's got all his people around there. So now not only did you go up in there and run amok, but you embarrassed him in front of his people. He has to respond now. So
come on, man.
They should have done that discreetly. They should have picked him up on the corner somewhere, or we was driving. They should have arrested him and had him locked up there. He wouldn't have been arrested. He would have been angry, but it wouldn't have been the response that Columbo just got, where he basically just lost his two main dirty cops and all the others.
Here's the problem. Columbo is brass. He's hot-headed, and he always tried to do things in a way to make a statement. And he's playing checkers, Larry, instead of playing chess with Bumpy. That's what his problem is. Because, he already done pulled that mess where he hopped in the car with Mamie. That was a line you ain't supposed to cross. And now he done pulled this, which is another line you're not supposed to cross. He ain't going to be able to cross the line too many times before he get to the sidewalk of death. And his ass is going to die. Because Bumpy ain't going to keep playing this mess. But again, Larry, I still think that Joe Columbo is going to get killed, but I don't think that it's going to be by Bumpy. I think they setting it up so it looked like it's going to be Bumpy on this series. And ladies and gentlemen, me and Larry know the real history of Joe Columbo, okay? Don't come running up here trying to tell us the real story, okay? We know the real history, but they're dramatizing the story. And we're pontificating on how they might dramatize it. But if you had to take bets, Big Larry, who do you think would kill Joe Columbo?
Ooh, if I have to guess, man, that's tough. I want to say Stella.
And me too.
Because Stella is a straight up Black Widow. She's already setting him up, this whole thing. Why don't you come over? She's trying to get him close. I think it's one of those things where it's like he's gonna find out that she's a snitch, that she's still snitching, and he's gonna try and kill her, except he's gonna be a little bit too slow, and she's gonna catch him. That's my first instinct. The other thing is maybe somehow Gigante gets out of jail and he ends up being the one that gets her, because he knows there's a hit out on her, and somehow he figures out a way to get out, and so he can save her. So he might have to do some snitching himself to get out. So I'm not sure how that's going to work out, but that might be what's happening. But I think it's going to be an Italian person that takes him out. I think if it's not then, it may be somebody from the Bonanno or the Gambino family, somebody who's going to be tired, because if they lose control of this Doogie shipment, that's going to be two that they've lost. And even though they got paid for the first one, they're going to be, this one they'll be down, because this one this is on them. And these dudes they're only going to put up with so many failures before they're like, this dude's got to go. And they're not going to retire him. They're just going to take him out.
So Larry, for all we know, Olympia could be the one to take out Joe, even though we know she's smashing one of the mob daddies. And even though we know that Olympia basically put that hit out on her stepdaughter, something could twist the turn, and she might see Joe as more of a threat to them than Stella, and try to take him out, because we haven't seen Olympia in about 2 episodes. And when they do that, they're trying to come back and bite you with that person. And you cannot put a hit out on your stepdaughter and then think you're just going to casually walk away from the series, Larry. It don't work like that. It don't work like that.
I'm surprised that Bumpy. I mean, not Bumpy. I'm surprised that Gigante hasn't already put a hit out on her, had her taken out. I'm surprised that didn't happen already. Because I mean, if somebody put a hit out on my daughter, I think she'd be gone.
Maybe Gigante don't know that that's who put the hit out on the daughter. I don't think any of them, know who did it. And let's not forget this, Larry. Stella still got to get a piece of slip and slide nose. She knows who was involved with the killing of her man. She knows, and she still got to get a piece of him too. And I think sooner or later they're going to encounter each other, and that is guaranteed to be very explosive, my people. Kind of like Lamar's colostomy bag, very explosive. Yeah. So then, Larry, we get on over here to Frenchy Black dude. I think he better than the brothers in America. He's running this whole stash of doogie all by himself because his white overlord has been killed. So, Larry, what kind of surprises do they have in store for this dude?
Oh man, I think he's gonna find out that he's far better off working with Bumpy than he is with the Italians. And then he's gonna want to go and flip teams again. I think he's gonna find out real quick because those Italians are gonna try and deal with him sideways somehow. And for all we've seen with him, he's an a-hole. He thinks he's better than American black folks. Everybody, I mean, you go anywhere in the world, you could have somebody who's living in a mud hut in the middle of nowhere, and they still think that they're better than black folks in America. And but he's gonna have that feeling, and he's gonna get treated like a nigga, just like how every other person in that era would have treated a black person at that time. He's gonna get treated like a nigga, and he's gonna then feel a different way about who he's dealing with. He's gonna realize, damn, I had the perfect setup with Bumpy. He could have controlled all the doogie in the city. I could have been his sole supplier, and I wouldn't have had to deal with the Italians or the Cubans or the Puerto Ricans or the white dude. He wouldn't have to deal with anybody because all he would have been doing is funneling everything to Bumpy, and Bumpy would have dealt with all that. So he's gonna learn though. That's what happens with a lot of black folks when they think that white folks have the better deal for them. They're going to end up finding out the hard way.
Especially the Italians. I mean,
yeah.
Like when you talk about groups of people outside of America that just really, really hate folks outside their pure race, and I put that in air quotes, Irish and Italian people really don't like nobody with no pigment in their skin. Is the stereotype. And that stereotype arises from this era of immigrating to New York, to the bosses spreading out and creating these crime bosses all over New York. And black Frenchie, he gonna learn. I mean, he reluctantly teamed up with Bumpy last season. Bumpy about to put that switchblade to him. And then he realized, I would be better off working with Bumpy because Bumpy took care of him. Remember, Bonanno was going to upstage the dude, if you recall, and Bumpy took care of him. So he'd be better off listening to Bumpy this time. And at the end of the show, Larry, we see him getting off the airplane in a sea of white people. Right. He was the only black thing sticking out in a sea of white people, which was a foreshadowing for me that they're going to have fun with his black ass. That's what they're gonna do. Yeah,
I would feel sorry for him, but I don't because of the way he's acted in the past. So, good luck to him.
He gonna learn.
I would be okay if he comes and gets his mind right and then comes back and deals with Bumpy. I'd be okay with him if he did that. But other than that,
I would too.
He's gonna have what's coming to him.
Exactly. And now, Larry, for a part of the show, me and you gonna really love. We get to talk about this. This is nothing but a 10, ladies and gentlemen. I don't care how you shake it up. I don't care what you like. I don't care what you don't like. To say that the actress playing Mamie is nothing less than a 10 is a lie, and a lie that the devil wouldn't tell. But Larry, she told her man, you need to step to Captain Feelgood as a black business owner and let them know you have rights. Larry, what was you thinking when she gave that impassioned speech to get her man motivated and get him in there to talk to Captain Feelgood?
Well, first of all, I have to take a little objection to the fact that she's a 10 because she's beautiful, but she's also intelligent and she's down for her man. So I'm gonna have to give her at least 2 bonus points. I'm gonna have to go ahead and bump her up to a 12. You know,
okay.
I'm gonna have to bump her up to a 12. Okay. That's a rare thing, but that's a rare package that she has all together.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay.
You know, it was interesting, this whole conversation about, you know, you're a black business owner, you have rights and all this stuff, and she should go talk to, you know. I think she wants him to be more on the up and up. She wants him to be more legit. And part of that is because it makes her life easier as well. She can then go and participate in some of these programs. She can join these civic organizations. She wants to have all the legitimacy and the respect that you get from being the wife of a respected, legitimate businessman, except he's not a legitimate businessman. He might be respected, but he's not legit. He's respected in the sense that people fear him, but that's it. And she has all of the material trappings of that lifestyle, but she doesn't have the social cachet that goes along with it. She's one of those women that when you walk into a room, people may step to the side to make way for you, but they're also whispering about you at the same time.
Right. And ladies and gentlemen, joining us now, Beyonce Grammy late as usual, ladies and gentlemen. Step into our stage. It's y'all favorite Miss K. What's going on, Miss K?
Hey, I'm sorry. No, I was not planning on coming. I don't want to come this late. 5 minutes is more my style. Like, this is too late.
Yeah. We know you like to be on TBS from the 90s time. You know, we gonna show up 5 minutes after whatever, but you're here now and we want to get your thoughts, and then we'll just put you right on into the stream. How did you like this episode?
I liked it a lot.
Yeah, go for it. Go for
it. A lot. And I was just, and hey, everybody in the chat. Sorry, hey Larry. I was just, I don't know. I'm always wondering how Bumpy is gonna get out of something. That's it, and he always does. It's just like, and it's not to say that I want to see an episode where, okay, it doesn't end like that, but in a way, I don't know. It's like I kind of do, so that we can like, okay, what is going to happen for next week? How's he going to get out? Because it's like every time there's a problem, he gets out of it that same episode, and you're like, oh my gosh, because it's just leaving room for more and more problems. To be honest, like, what's going to be the next problem? You know what I mean? So that's all. But I enjoyed it.
But don't you think that just shows the writers are more than willing to take risks, because they keep giving you complex problems every episode, and it's kind of like, how are you going to top this for a finale? You know, I'm happy with the writers.
Oh, I love it. Yeah,
being able to be like, you know what, we just gonna go for it, and we're gonna take these risks. We're gonna put him in some trouble every episode, because I'm like you too. I'm sitting here thinking, man, how he gonna get out of this? Like, bruh.
You know what's interesting? Larry. You know what's interesting about this now is that when he went and spoke to the police captain and basically stunted on him and told him, "Hey, man, I know I have every name. I have the whole list. I know everything, including you." And then when he left, he said, "Y'all work for me now." The problem with that is he solved one problem, but remember, Bumpy's he's not in the best. He's not really well situated right now financially. After his douchey deal and everything went sideways, dude's not living like he's flush. I'm not gonna say he's broke, but he's not doing as well as he could be. And now he's gonna have to pay all those officers and those captains. He basically just took them off of Columbo's payroll and put them on his. You know,
you think that? I think the only one he's putting on the payroll is the captain, and the captain can deal with all the other stuff.
He can try, but they're not. That's not going to last forever. And if he doesn't pay them, that's going to leave. That's going to leave the opportunity for Columbo or somebody else to come and scoop them up.
He has to put the other ones on payroll too, especially because he claims the issue is that because he's black, so everybody's like against him, which has to be true, you know. So I think he would definitely have to have the other cops on the payroll too.
So y'all don't think he can squeeze Captain Feelgood enough to be like, look, control your men, even if they're being bought by Colombo. If he's paying for the captain, like he said, you work for me now, mother effer. You don't think that just being able to squeeze the captain is enough to keep all the captain's men at bay?
I think they can. I think having the captain on his payroll, the captain can probably do enough to keep Bumpy, particularly Bumpy, or maybe even Bumpy's crew from being harassed too much. But if you're Colombo or Bonanno or one of the other bosses, and you decide to hire those officers, well, they can just do stuff like, for instance, set up checkpoints outside, down the block from, say, the Geechee. Now, when anybody's got the end of the night, when everybody's trying to go home and they're drunk, they just lock people up for public drunkenness, or if they're driving, they get them for DUI. They can start searching cars if they find people a little bit of weed in the car or a gun that's unregistered. All of a sudden, this happens once or twice. People like, I'm not going back to the Geechee because it's too hot, So you kind of have to make sure that you get everybody on board. Otherwise, you still have your same problems, maybe to a lesser extent, but you're still going to have problems.
Okay, I can get with that. Now we get to. I'm ready to say I have officially adopted this brother as the X. Now I have. He's the X, and this is him in Egypt, waking up to the beautiful Elise. Look at her dead in her face. And she's so happy to be there, being his administrative assistant. She probably could do some backflips in that little skirt she was wearing. But in any event, they wake up and see the pyramids. He's got a meeting with one of the radicals who wants to try to divert his speech into something radical. And she's saying, don't go. But he's like, I got to go. It's a great opportunity to network. But I'm going to need you. In Egypt, they don't play like West Africa. In Egypt, they don't treat the women the same. I need you to stay up in this crib and not go nowhere. I give this to you, Ms. K. Talk to me about how you felt when they set this story up in this episode.
I was just, starting to be a little concerned about them being together, but then it turned out to be something way more serious. With her, first of all, showing that she's kind of in a dangerous place compared to everywhere else that they've been. And then saying, you got to stay in the room. And then is it okay if I go a little further?
Yeah.
So when they send the hotel security to pick her, I was like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? Don't go. I was afraid. Like, I thought she was going to get hard or something or attacked. Like, I didn't know what was going to go on. So I'm like, girl, don't go. Malcolm said to stay in the room, And by the time she meets up with the guy, he really scares her. The guy, I think his name was Gregory Reynolds or something like that. He really scared her and, letting her know that he knows all the information about the assassination attempt and all of this stuff. And so I was just like, oh gosh, what are we, what's going to happen? And even when she kind of asked him, first of all, I love how she held it down like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't know nothing about that. The attack with his leg. Like she was holding it down. Like I don't know nothing about that.
I don't know nothing.
Right. But the point is, it was definitely a scare tactic. But at the same time, when she went back to tell Malcolm the information, she was like, this is not a game. Like he really scared me and I have a bad feeling about this. So I was not surprised when I saw him coming through looking all sweaty and his stomach hurting and all. Like I was just like,
for real?
Yeah.
For real?
I just wasn't surprised. I just didn't. If this is something that really happened to him, I didn't know that. But I was not surprised. Like I'm never surprised to hear about someone that was assassinated in real life. To hear about previous attempts on their lives.
Okay, I get you. I got you. Yeah. I got you. What'd you think about it, Larry? Man, it was like to see them in Egypt, what we're calling the motherland, and for them to say that in Egypt. The women don't get treated the way they get treated in West Africa, Larry. What was you thinking when you heard this dialogue?
Yeah, I mean, I think partly because back then in the day, I don't think most of West Africa were Muslim countries. I think they were either Christian nations because they were colonized, or they were traditional religions. But Egypt has been a Muslim country for a long time, and so they're, you know, especially you're talking about what, 60 years ago or something like that.
Right.
I mean, yeah, they probably had far more conservative ideals in the nation than they you know, than the other African countries did. But I will say I agree with Miss K that she really held it down, especially considering that she was scared shitless. You know, she was in there like with the stone face and was basically like, I don't know what you're talking about. Because when she got back to the room and talked to him, she was shook. You know, and this dude, he has that sort of confident arrogance of somebody who knows they carry the full support of the United States government on their back. I mean, he sat there quite just pleasantly and smiled and was like, you know,
makes you
if I really wanted to, I could snap my fingers and just have his neck broke and sent back to the United States in a box. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and ask you to just simply have him not deliver this speech. You know,
man,
trying this the calmest way possible. Say, you know, I want him to be safe too.
Yeah, like those dudes like that. Those dudes are scary. Like the ones that come at you all hot and loud with all the bravado and the guns. I can kill you, clack, clack, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Dude, if you have your gun out and you haven't shot me yet, it's probably because you don't intend to. But that dude who comes in, they're all smiling. Because you think you could get Malcolm just out to deliver the speech? You know, just, you know, have him go have a nice dinner. You know, can he just like take a walk on the beach? You know, we know he's been hanging out with Chase. Not a really good look for the country. Can you just have him not do it? Those dudes are scary as hell. Because you know, the second that they realize you're not going to do what they want you to do, they're just going to go ahead and try and take you out.
Off with your head. And that's why I say the thing. That's why I say, I'm sorry, Lamont, real quick.
Go ahead.
That's why I say somebody like, to me, in my opinion, Jose Battle is a dangerous guy too, because he's very calm. Like he's a very calm type of dude. But anyway, go ahead.
No, Jose Battle go from 0 to 60 in 2 seconds. Okay,
but you can't lie that he's so like he's laid back, like he's level headed until it's time to turn up.
He's
that's what I like about him. He's Cuban at the end of the day. What you expect?
He's level headed, but Miss K, it don't take much to get that Ferrari to 100. Like the minute that tire get on the street, it's gone, because we've seen Jose Battle go from 0 with the banker to that Negro was at 100 with the banker, just like that. And even in this episode, Jose Battle was calm, cool, and collective. And when it was time to start waterboarding them cops, that butt went 0 to 100.
That's the point.
I was like, look at him getting all up in there, putting the towel in their mouth.
That's right.
Water. I was like, look at old Jose Battle. Look at him.
Like Larry said, it ain't no point in doing all that rah-rah if you ain't gonna get it done right then and there. Jose is like, I don't got time to be, you know, being loud and threatening folks. When it's time to put in that work, I'll show you what I could do.
put in that work, right? Go throw it in there.
So I do worry about Jose Battle though too, because he does have those government connections, and even if he wants to be as honorable as he could be, and I feel like from a criminal perspective, I feel like he's sort of as legit as you're gonna get. Like if you don't screw him over, he won't screw you over.
Right.
I think there's some criminals that are basically like, the second I see an opportunity to get a little bit more, even if that means I have to screw over somebody I've been dealing with for years, I'm gonna do it because I'll get more. I don't think Jose Battle's like that. I think Jose Battle's just like, look, as long as you're legit with me, I'm legit with you. We can both make money. There's enough money to go around.
Yeah.
You know.
I agree. Definitely.
But the government angle, the fact that he's getting his guns from the CIA, there's something different about being a criminal versus dealing with the government. Because when the government comes up and shows you pictures of your entire family on 2 different continents, and they're like basically like, we're gonna wipe out your entire bloodline tomorrow if you don't do what we say. Almost everybody's gonna be like, you know what? If it was just me, if they just threatened to kill me, I would just go out. I'd be like, cool, I'll just go out. I'll go out on my sword. But when they start talking about taking out, 4-year-old nieces and 19-year-old cousins and whatnot, people start changing their mind. They start getting real loosey-goosey with their so-called criminal code.
Like what the young people say, Larry, it hit different.
It's different.
It hit different, Big Larry. It hit different when they going out like that, man. And then from there, ladies and gentlemen, how did y'all, and I'll start with you, Larry, how did you feel about this guy trying to get Malcolm to make his speech a little bit more radical? Now, I will say this, Larry. There were some good points he made in what he was trying to tell Malcolm. There were some good points. But overall, he really was trying to use Malcolm for the detriment of, his religion and what he was trying to do with his country. So talk to me about how you enjoyed having this guy on the scene and what he was trying to do with Malcolm.
I'm a little confused on the scene because if I'm not mistaken, I was trying to confuse, like, was this supposed to be Che Guevara or Fidel?
Yeah. No, that was Che Guevara.
That's what I thought they said, but he looks more like Fidel than he does Che Guevara. Che Guevara was thinner. And
Fidel Castro is thinner too.
Yeah, this dude looks like Fidel when Fidel won and was had been in power for a few years. But
okay.
But as far as I get it where Che was coming from. He wanted him to do more, and he was trying to tell him, look, you're Malcolm X. If you say jump, there's going to be a whole army of people across, multiple continents that are going to say how high. All you have to do is give the word, and you're going to move the masses. And I think part of that, part of Malcolm's response was in part because of the way that I think he had been dealt with the nation. He didn't want to abuse his power, but I think also some of that had to do with growing up as a black man in white America at that time. I don't think he had that level of confidence that he didn't have that confidence. He didn't recognize how much power he truly had. And other people who have not been saddled with all of that, that's the horrors that the white people put on us here in this country, recognized him for what he is and how much power he truly had. And sometimes I wonder if Malcolm truly recognized it, maybe things would have turned out differently. He could have just taken control of the nation. I don't know.
Good point. Damn.
Yeah.
Damn. I don't know how you follow that, Miss K, but I'm sure you're gonna try. What was your thoughts on my man Shay and what he was trying to do with Malcolm, and how Malcolm just casually said, "Nah, I ain't gonna go there"?
Yeah, I just thought that it was kind of another eye opener, even if Malcolm didn't realize it. As far as I think he realized that what Shay was saying there was a lot of truth to it. As far as you keep talking about your country and your people and what your country did and all this stuff, but if you don't recognize that they're doing it to other countries, what are you here for? And I was like, wow, that was pretty deep. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying.
You could even see Malcolm is like, yo, you know what I mean? So it was kind of like this trip has really it helped to see other people's perspectives. Bro, you're not the only one. Y'all not the only one suffering from the hands of Americans. America is really you know what I'm saying? Yeah, they be trying to take over every daggone thing, and so it's just crazy. But it's at the end of the day, he's still kind of, he did what he came there to do. I'm not gonna let somebody, take away my focus and take away the goal of my mission. This was the mission that I started. It's for my people. I can't fight for everybody. You got your fight and I got mine, but I do get what Larry is saying. If he would have come to that realization as far as how powerful he really was, for him to say, for Shay to say, if you do a war cry, it's going to be something serious, the heavens to come down, whatever. And these people are eating out of your hand. And sometimes people don't know how powerful they are like that. If he would have really taken that into account, then he probably could have taken over the nation. You know what I mean? I don't know. But that wasn't him, that wasn't his goal. I don't think he meant to be as, I don't want to say famous, but just, I don't think he meant to be as big as he was, in the way of as far as, that desire. I think he just had a mission and he really wanted to accomplish some things and do some good things for his people. But I don't know.
The man had to, let's break it down for what it was. You are a powerful individual when leaders of another nation is trying to get you to augment your speech. Okay. Mm-hmm. You are a powerful individual when your own federal government is trying to kill you over the words that you say. You ain't on the street shooting people. You're not out here beating folks with your fists. You are using words, and your words incite and inspire people to do things that they wouldn't normally do. So I don't see how Malcolm didn't see that. Not to mention his understudy secretary wants to jump his bones immediately. If he was all of a sudden just getting naked, she would be right on top of him. I mean, you want me to lie about it, Miss K? I'm just keeping it 100.
I mean, come on now.
Hey,
I'll tell you, Betty has like some supreme confidence. Because there's no way in hell I'm letting that sister go out there. Well, I'll be like, nah, chick, nah,
Zero.
Nah. No, it's not happening.
Zero. Yeah. But she's believing in the mission. She's believing in the holy Allah and all those things they believe in. And you know, it's just keeping together. Now, I'll hit you with this one, Miss K. Shout out to everybody watching us, Samara, the whole crew, Khadijah, the one that's not on screen, Tamika, Inga, Big Mo, my homie. Shout out to all y'all. I'm grateful. Please thumbs up this video, man, and go and subscribe to Larry and Miss K. They put out great work too, and they do a great job.
Thank you.
Oh, y'all know I'm about to be sad because I was about to adopt this woman as another one of my TV wives, Miss Stella. And in the same episode, I had to kick Stella to the curb again because we started out. I'm gonna get there. We start out with Joe Colombo basically cussing Stella out, calling her a brat is basically what he's doing. He's saying, if it wasn't for your daddy, I'd take you out my damn self. And I wanted her to just punch him in the face right then and see what he do. Because Stella got to know she holds the power because Chin is controlling Joe, so we think. So she would have punched him in the face. What was he really gonna do? Because she could fly down to that jail cell and say he did XYZ, and that'd be it for him. And he made her upset, right? That she went talking to put him in jail Pike, who we seen last week talking to Mamie. He wants her to get all the information she can on Joe. She basically agrees to do it, Miss K. Invites Joe over for her signature dish and wine, her eggplant, whatever the hell it was.
Yeah. I don't know, whatever the freak.
Yeah. He ate it. You know, she ate it. But then she had a fucking epiphany that made me so sick. Like, she goes and tells him everything, every little piece of business, how she ratted on her daddy. A part of her started feeling sorry for him for I don't know what reason. And next thing we know, lo and behold, the video recorder that she had, she messes it up by the time she gives it back to put him in jail, Pike. And basically she fell for the banana in the tailpipe from Joe Colombo. Floor is yours, Miss K. That's why I'm done with her, Larry, because she had an opportunity to put this bum in jail and she didn't. She went and messed up the damn recording tape. That's her fault. She could have put him away and then she could have had a real brother. Because once you get that chocolate, you don't go back.
I didn't see it that way, but I'm going to tell you my thoughts. Go ahead, Miss. I'm sorry.
It's fine. I feel like this shows us that Stella is an emotional person and she acts on that. So however she's feeling, if she's feeling angry, she's going to do the irrational thing or the angry thing. And when Joe told her that he would freaking kill her, his daggone self, you know, if it wasn't for his father and all that, the promise and all that, that pissed her off. And she's like, oh, really? Okay. And so she went. Next thing you know, she over here talking to Pike and everything. And then when she had dinner, she was going through with it. But then when that last thing he said and how he told her, you know, I understood you when you said you felt alone because I don't have a lot of friends. And, you know, you're not really a rat. You just ratted in grief and all of that. Though that played on her, like she has a soft heart. Like she may be a killer when she need to be a killer, guys. But Stella does have a soft heart. So that's kind of just made her say, you know what, let me erase this. Let me mess up this tape and tell Pike that he's clean and all of it. And I wasn't surprised. I'm not gonna lie. I was not surprised at all. I said, especially that was the last thing he said to her. I was like, oh, it's over.
Miss K,
she ain't going through.
That's why I kicked her off the team. Okay, you can't keep falling for the banana in the tailpipe with Joe. He's dangerous. Larry, I can't wait to hear this, Larry. What you got to say? Ain't no defending Stella's behavior. Stella,
I'm gonna defend Stella's behavior here because I've read this situation entirely different. Okay. I don't think that she fell for the old, banana in the tailpipe thing with Joe Colombo, and I think she messed up the recording on purpose. But if you look at the way when he left, if you look at that expression on her face and the way that it changed and the way that it hardened, I think she had no soft spot for him whatsoever. I think what she finally realized when she went to what's his name, the cop, and Pike, yes, when she went to Pike, I think the thing that she finally realized is, you know what? I am in a unique position because the way he changed and he got all excited, and when she told him that I'm working with Colombo, and he was like, so you're in close proximity to him, and then he was the one obviously who gave her the information about the heroin deal and all that. She realized I have a chip in this game, and if I play it right, I could basically end up running this family, except for she's gonna have to get rid of Colombo. And I think she's going to, but I think she's going to play this. I think she's going to play the feds and she's going to play Colombo, and she's going to end up taking control. She knows that she can't be a made dude. She even said it, this thing of ours, because I'm a woman, I can't do this, but my father trusts me. And I think she might actually put herself in a position to do that, because what does she have to gain by taking out Colombo? What, she ends up moving to Albuquerque or something with a new name, and what, they set her up in a 2-bedroom apartment somewhere with a retail job. They said, when she talked about Paris, the guy said, but we don't really do people, we don't really have people internationally, which says like he'll tell her whatever, but he's not really going to move her internationally. When it comes down to it, they're going to be like, you either go where we want you to go or not. Right. And if she gets rid of Colombo, all that's going to happen is somebody else is going to take his place. And so I think her only option is, if she can't just straight up get gone, is to really get in the game. And I think that's where she's at. I think she's going to use Colombo and the feds, and she's going to have that game. She's going to run things while her dad's locked up.
So what she could do, Larry, is use Colombo to get her dad out of prison.
I don't think she wants that just yet. I think she wants to run shit.
No, I don't. I don't. I think she wants to get her some more black penis, and I think she wants to get the heck up out of Dodge. That's what I do.
I think she wants that. I think she wants to get out of Dodge as well. But I think in the absence of that.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
I mean, it is what it is, because she done went down Chocolate City Road now. And nothing has been able to fulfill her quenching her thirst now. So I think she want to get her some hot chocolate. She want to get the hell up out of America. She want to go international. And she might be trying to do that. She might try to do it.
I think she's gonna try and run stuff. Watch. That's what I think she's gonna do.
That would be
it would be if she did it, Miss K, it'd be crazy.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, if she already knows that they are not going for that, like, girl, nobody's letting you as a woman rule any daggone thing.
Plus, one of them knows she's a snitch. The one that her stepmom is screwing, know that she a snitch.
Yeah, that's definitely not gonna fly. Oh my gosh. Yeah, but I mean, look, if any other thing, where they didn't have rules like this, I would definitely be on board with that theory. But the fact that they have rules like this for such a long time, I don't know.
They always talk about these rules. They don't adhere to these rules. If they did, people they would have never attempted to kill Stella. Like, they would have not have touched her because she's the daughter of a mob boss. They would have gone to Gigante and said, "Hey, we've heard about this. We need your permission before we even think about moving forward." And he would have been like, "Hell no! Why do you think I'm in jail in the first place trying to protect her monkey ass?" he would not have said okay to that. I mean, they're always talking about the rules, and these rules are basically suggestions.
They be breaking them rules all the time, of course.
And right.
But the one rule that I doubt they would break is the one where the women they're gonna let a woman be in charge. Like, it's different with them.
There's been other stories with the mob where the women have been in charge. They haven't been made officially, but they have been the one running the families.
And it would depend on if Chin would go for that. I could see Chin going for that. I could. If she gets rid of Joe, I could see Chin going for that. Because you already done said that I could see the problem that Chin would have is that the other boss is not going for it. That's the problem. The other bosses is not going to have it. But I'm ready to see her get some get back on her stepmama. And I want to see how that story is going to play out when she finds out stepmama ordered that hit and Chin finds out stepmama ordered that hit on her. And then when Chin finds out that stepmama is sleeping with one of the other bosses, because that's a no-no too, Larry. Now that we're talking about no-nos they ain't supposed to be doing, that's another no-no.
Like, I don't understand. You have access to all these other women. You can have all the gumas you want. Why are you gonna mess with this dude's wife? Because I mean, not only do you have to worry about Chin trying to take you out, the other dudes might be like, you know what? I need to take them out too, because what happens if I get locked up? I have to now worry that my wife is gonna be in his bed. You know, these dudes are all gonna want to take him out.
But the problem is, Larry, I think she was sleeping with Chin. I think she was sleeping with Homeboy while Chin was already out.
Yeah, that was. We don't know the time frame of the affair, but we know that. It happened. So
exactly.
Secrets.
All I know is Stella's not done putting bodies out there. She's got one more body to drop at least this season.
It better be Olympia.
No, she got 2 bodies, Larry. She got at least 2. She definitely got to get Slip and Slide Nose. She got to get him. And then, yes, Olympia too. Olympia's on the chopping block too. She's got to get them 2 bodies. You know, the streets need.
I'll tell you, I want to see a crossover where it turns out that she's Effie's mom. Because Effie already looks like she's mixed. Just go ahead and bring her on into to Power and let her be Effie's mom, because we know she's got bodies. We know she's a gangster, so you know.
she definitely has that for sure. And so I'll come your way on this one, Larry. We saw this coming, the meeting between Joe and Bumpy, and basically, all I could do was laugh. My man called Bumpy a racist. I'm sitting here, I'm sitting here laughing at his punk ass, like, bro, what in the hell you? Because this man's smart enough to know not to do business with you and the crooked families, he racist. Shut the fuck, bro. Anyway. Bumpy had one of his cops that he used to pay on the beat go looking for those 2 cops that was causing trouble. And Joe Colombo continued to show you that he is a menacing force. He'll smile in your face, and the minute you turn your neck, stab you right in the middle of your clavicle. He done killed the cop, ladies and gentlemen. He done killed the cop. Larry, floor is yours, man. Talk to me about this exchange when Bumpy was like 50-50 and Colombo's like, hell no.
Excuse me. I mean, I understand where Columbo's coming from on one end, because he's like, you know, he grew up in that time and place where he felt like he's better than black folks. He believes that's the way it should be. And he felt like he came to Bumpy and gave him what he thought was a fair deal. I don't know if he would have honored that deal or not.
Exactly.
But, exactly. You know, but he was saying, hey, I went to bat for you with the families, and then you shut me down, and it just embarrassed me. So now he's angry with them. I still think as much of as a non-traditionalist as he is a bit when it comes to his criminality, I think he might come around and he might say, you know what, maybe this is a better deal to deal with him peacefully than to go to war with them. Because the way they're setting this up, it seems like, and I'm speculating here, but it seems like Bumpy's going to take control of the Doogie shipment. It seems like he's going to get that. They're not going to have it. Bumpy's going to be in control of it, and it's going to put them at odds. And so I think he might be better trying to deal with, like if he just would have said, yeah, 50-50 is cool, everybody would have made money. That would have been it. Everybody would have been made money. And But now he's basically just saying, well, I'm just straight screw. I'm just basically edging you out, and that's just what it is. And I think that's a bad move. You just can't do that to a crime boss. He's gonna find a way. If anything, he's gonna find a way to make his money, even if that means he's gonna have to hurt you and yours to do it.
Thank you, Miss K. Jump on in there. How'd you like black folks being called racist, and then the black person said, "Okay, you want me to prove you I'm not racist?" 50-50, and he said, "Fuck no." So that just proves we're not racist in same sentence.
I just kind of felt like he had lots of nerve. I'm talking about Joe. You know, first of all, in this scene, he admits to Bumpy that, you know, oh, I gave you a fair deal and you made me look like a fool in front of the other families and all this stuff. And it was funny how in the first scene, he was talking to the other families saying, you know, Bumpy made you guys look like a bunch of idiots when he took over the duty, this and that. So it's kind of like he's playing these little games here to kind of like, instead of I don't want you guys to look at me like I'm a fool. So look at Bumpy because he's the one that made you guys look like a fool, right? But then in this meeting, he's talking to Bumpy and he's saying stuff like, I gave you a fair deal. And it's like a slave master saying to the house nigga, yo, I gave you the scraps off my freaking table. How dare you turn your back on me? I mean, it's just freaking ridiculous. It's like, what kind of fair offer was that? So it's just a lot of nerve. It just really isn't. It just shows that this is how a lot of these people think. They think we're supposed to take the scraps and be happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they always want us to take their scraps and make soul food, okay?
Yeah.
You know, like they give us these stupid ass names, nigger, and we turn it into nigga, and then all of a sudden they want to use that, and we're like, no, F you.
Right, no.
Yeah, F you. No, you don't get to use it. No,
you don't.
Oh man. Now rounding this thing out, ladies and gentlemen, we get back to Captain Feelgood. So the two scrub cops, and I do mean these are some scrubs. These is the scrubs TLC was singing about, hanging out the passenger side of their best friend rides, trying to holler at somebody. They come to arrest Bumpy on no charges. They have no, they just trumping up shit. They just making up stuff, trumped up charges. It's a hooligan's hand that they trying to do. And then we see old Captain Feelgood come in and save them. But here's the problem, my people. Captain Feelgood was too late. Bumpy was irate by this point. He go and get that ass. And this is my boy Jose Battle. Battle Axe, Larry, Waterboard. Larry, the floor is yours, my man. Talk to me about this turn of events all through up in here.
Man, you know, Battle. First of all, Jose Battle, you know his wife is mad watching this right now. She's like, you took my nice crystal, pitcher out the house to go waterboard somebody. You couldn't have gone down to the hardware store and got a bucket. You couldn't have emptied out one of the little bathroom trash cans. You got to take my nice crystal water pitcher out there.
Larry, he could have went to their 5-cent store back in the day, which was like their dollar store,
right?
And could have got one of them the metal pails and then pailed them. He
went to the Woolworth or the 5 and Dime or something and got one of those.
Yeah, exactly. You got it, man. You got it.
Man, this was really interesting to see this, because this is not something that you just learn in the streets. That's something that you learned because you were, you had some connections somewhere. And but it's interesting. Like Bumpy's getting a little bit of an education right there. So,
he was. He was. And you saw the way Bumpy had his switchblade out.
Mm-hmm.
He put it away, and then he just sat back and just looked at him like, damn, look what is he doing? That ain't no street shit. That's like wartime tactics. Bro.
That's some government interrogation type stuff right there. So.
Yeah, man. That
might just go to show the kind of tight relationship that Jose Battle has with the CIA, because it's not just been they've been dropping off guns and he's been selling them to help fund something. Now he's been up close and personal with them.
Yeah. So. Now, Ms. K, let me get you in on this conversation. Look at Ren and Stimpy looking like they had a reverse meiosis, like they was birthed and now they done split apart and shit. Down there like they shivering because they know they about to get what's coming to them. Look, first of all, you go from this right here, you the people in power, right? You in power. To your asses down here looking like you separated twins and shit. And then my man Jose Battleaxe. Talk to me, Sister K.
First of all, this is exactly what they get for talking about some nigga lips.
You caught that? You caught that?
Yeah. I'm not gonna drink that after your nigga lips. Like, okay.
All right. You know.
You coming with us.
You know.
Jose Battle got something for you to drink.
You coming with us.
Yeah.
Felt real stupid too. Gave up every daggone thing. I'm like, whoo, Jose was go. Listen, no, whatever Bumpy was that little first slice. I guess he said, you know what, Jose got this. After he seen what he was doing, he said, I can put my blade away. Jose got it. Because they done gave up everything.
Yeah, they gave up the
signed confessions, freaking resignations. Like it's all everything. You can confess, but you also can't even be on the force anymore. I don't even want you on my payroll. You done.
Yeah,
man. Which, ladies and gentlemen, brings us to the climactic end. I loved every bit of Bumpy going in there and giving it to old Officer Captain Feelgood. Take a look at this, motherfucker.
On paper, they told me the name of every single cop in this precinct who's taking money from the mob, including you.
They hate me enough as it is.
So you threaten me, but you keep your hands off their Titans.
I wish I could jail all of you. But the culture here ain't gonna change overnight.
Figure out who your enemies are, your real enemies. So then, motherfucker, you work for me.
I love it. And look, did you see how he did his teeth? Like, let me tell you, white folks is watching this. A black man is mad at you when he say mother effer like that, and his teeth is like this. Like the fucking yin yang twin, motherfucker. Larry, you get first crack at this one, Larry. How did you enjoy that ending, my brother?
Man, this was just so great because that dude came in there like he was gonna be Mr. High and Mighty. I'm the good, clean Negro who's gonna clean up Harlem. And it's like, nah, nigga, you're just as dirty as everybody else. You know, you blue bleeding. You know,
two pump,
two
pump chump. That's what it was. 2 pumps and he a chump. Yep.
That dude. I mean, it's just it's sort of sad and pitiful in one way because it's like he's in there acting like he's all big and brolic and he's gonna do all this and that. Man, he wasn't even up in there for a week and he's already working for Bumpy. Man, it's just pitiful.
Wait a minute, Larry. What you trying to say? He give it up nice and easy? What you trying to say, Larry?
That dude, he's like one of those girls back in the day who says, I don't have sex on the first date. And by 10:30, you're already done. You know?
2 legs
it's
in the air.
Yeah, it's like, come on, stop telling all them damn stories. Let's just deal honestly with each other. You know?
Wow.
Yeah,
sorry for the analogy, Miss K.
Oh,
hey, you
fine.
Good.
I don't care. You know, it's good. I agree, but you know what? I think it just shows us that these new people haven't done their homework on Bumpy. You know, Bumpy's been around. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I think what it is they just know of his rap sheet, but they don't know the details. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's like, bro, do your homework, do your research on this man, because he ain't out here and lasting this long for nothing.
Exactly.
And that's the same with Joe Colombo. Like he's wet behind the ears, and he thinks that he's gonna come in after all of these men that are older than him that have been dealing with Bumpy, and he thinks he's gonna come in and just change the game, you know, on his new generation stuff. But it's like, bro, this is not your regular gangster. Like he's been running stuff since 1920s, 1930s. Like, you need to fall back.
This man done been
for real.
Right. This man done been to jail for 10 years.
Right.
Never
and he talk about
snitched.
A few days in Rikers. That ain't
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna change his attitude. That is not gonna do anything, honey. He can do that. Like that's a vacation.
He goes to Rikers. If he goes to Rikers, all that's gonna happen is they're gonna say who has the best room in here, and they're gonna pick up. They're gonna move out, and Bumpy's gonna be in there for the next couple of days until he gets released. Yeah, and then he's gonna come out and he's gonna be like, "Man, that was a vacation I needed. I'm well rested. You know, ate other people's commissary. I'm good. You know,
like sending him to Rikers would be like a homecoming with a pep rally.
Right?
them people are gonna be in there cheering Bumpy on because Bumpy did hard time at Alcatraz. Okay. Joe, do your homework, bro. The Rikers, he probably go in, like I said, it's going to be a homecoming for him in there. They're going to have a homecoming. It's going to be a pep rally. It's going to be confetti thrown. It's going to be fun for him. You better get your game up,
Get it
Joe.
up.
Get it up and keep it up.
Joe and
Fields. Right.
Fields,
Lord,
nigga. Get it together, Fields, nigga.
We got Officer Fields, nigga. We got him under control, Miss K. We got him under control, you know. Yes. Now we need him to get his men under control. That's what we need him to do.
Yes.
But I want to get you guys' death predictions, then I'll let y'all get out of here. Okay. Who is going to be the one that's going to kill Officer Fields, nigga?
Ooh.
Probably Joe Colombo.
Okay. Miss K got Joe. Larry, who you got?
Oh man, I want to say, as much as I don't want to say Bumpy, I feel like it's gonna have to be Bumpy.
Yeah, I see that too.
Yeah, I don't want it to be, but I feel like it might have to be Bumpy.
Yeah, especially the way he was looking at him. Like you see him, he's looking at him like he's infuriated, but you were okay to be on the white man's payroll. But you got a problem with being on Bumpy's? Like it's just irks me.
That's what I think. That's what really got Bumpy pissed off, because we've seen Bumpy when he deals with people. He is very businesslike. He's kind of like, look, I get you did what you did. It was business, not personal. But this right here, where he was like, so you'll protect the white dudes, but you're gonna come after me. He was like, nah, I can't tolerate that. I can't. Like if you were just, I think it would have been different if he was just a straight up honest cop that his wife said he was. That he was being, he's being pitched as originally, that he's just this good dude, honest, clean hands. He's gonna try and come through Harlem and make things right. If he had been that, Bumpy would have been like, I understand why you're coming at me. I expect you're gonna go at everybody else in the same way. But then when he finds out the dude's dirty and he's protecting the white dudes and coming after the black dudes, I think Bumpy might have to take him out. Or he might just enjoy it. You know,
but Bumpy go ahead and take him out, man.
Mess around, Bumpy will have a cop that's like right below his rank to take over his position. Just have it all set up, and then just to push him out the way. Like we already got this covered. Don't worry.
Exactly.
You're about to get a promotion. You know, and we need you to close this investigation. You know, quick, fast, and hurry.
Seal the deal. Ladies and gentlemen, we are out of here. We're grateful that you guys came through. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram. We've got those pages. Podcast is up and running. That's going to be going on in a second. And everybody you see on my screen, I got a TikTok with them. There's Larry over there in one corner. Then there's Mistress Moonlight down there in another corner. Her hair was a different color, by the way. And Larry, what you got going on your channel this week so people can get a chance to take a look at?
Well, before I tell you that, I was noticing when you were talking about all your stuff up there, your Instagram and the podcast, I didn't see your OnlyFans up there.
Oh.
I ain't got one of them.
Oh my God.
That we know of. If I had an OnlyFans, it'd be the OnlyFans bankrupt. That's what it'd be. Oh man, you're gonna have Lamont up there in his skivvies doing giving you financial advice.
I do got a picture of me when I got a lot of muscles.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
You look so young right there, man.
What about this one?
Oh, there you go, man.
Oh, wow.
You still look young, just bigger.
You still look young, but you kind of look like the kid off of The one that with principal
on the billboard,
crack, don't you? No,
right? Yeah. Smoke crack, don't you?
What do you call them? Sam's. Do it.
You want to kill yourself?
Expeditiously.
Do it expeditiously. Yeah. Wait, why did dude that's home that you give him money to? Why does he look like a big Joaquin Woodbine?
That's what he looked like. That's exactly what he looked like.
He looked like a big Joaquin Woodbine.
That's exactly what he looked like.
Oh man, this week I'm still doing more reviews and stuff and making some new videos. I have some tutorials coming up on how to do some stuff, how to do some editing tricks and tips and whatnot. I recently got the iPad mini, so I did a little reel about it the other day, calling it the pocket iPad, because it's so small you literally can fit this thing in your pocket. So it's kind of nice. It has the A15 bionic chip in there, so it's extraordinarily fast. And I mean, you could pretty much do everything that you can do with, say, one of the Pro iPads, except on a smaller form factor. So I just, I have other iPads, but I wanted something just sort of small that you can just sit up there when you're just sitting in the chair on the couch. You don't have something big that you have to prop it up against something. It's just kind of nice to have something you can flip through and, read some comics and whatnot. It's perfect. It's a perfect size for reading comic books. So it's kind of nice.
Okay.
Yeah, those are perfect for people that love to read like me.
Now, Larry, how much do they cost?
They start about $4.99 if you buy them new. And then you can buy them refurbished, and they can be a little bit cheaper, but they start at $4.99.
And how much memory? What's like the maximum memory you could buy, and what would the price be?
That's the only downside that I didn't like about it, is that the max memory you can get is 256. I would really wish they would have allowed you to get 512, but you can get 256 is still good. Even when I loaded this up, I still have more than half of my memory free. So
okay.
So it's still probably more than enough, but the 256 is going to run you, I believe it's another $100. So it'll be $5.99. And then if you have because Apple does offer all kinds of discounts, if you buy directly from Apple, you can get, like, I use my veterans discount, but you can also get a student discount, a teacher discount. I think they even offer a parent discount if you have a kid who's a student.
Cool.
There's all kinds of ways. If you work for the federal government, there's all kinds of different ways that you can get a discount through Apple. So, and if you are in military or former military or like I think, or even like with the State Department or something, you can use a service called ID.me, and that will then that'll verify your status as a military personnel or a veteran or government employee, and then you can then just log in with your ID.me account, and it will automatically apply the discounts. So I do that whenever I buy any kind of Apple stuff, because it saves you a considerable amount of money. I think it's, when I bought my MacBook Pro, I think the thing was, I don't know, it would have been close to $4,000. And after I did my military discount and traded my my other computer, I only paid a couple $100. So,
damn, that's nice. Wow. Stick with them, people. Go hit that channel. And Miss K, what do you got going on? People calling you the love child, and you lovely to look at late at night.
Oh my gosh.
She is lovely to look at. She has those cheeks when she smiles, boy. It just makes you want to look and laugh with her.
Oh,
yeah, she do.
Thank you.
And thank God her teeth white, because I don't give a damn how pretty her cheeks is. If them teeth was like gold color, I have some questions.
And they're straight. They're looking nice. Because don't you hate it when you see like these pretty girls and then they smile and they got these Zulu daggers in their mouth and you're just like, what is that? Let me give you a nail file or something.
Right. The first thing you thinking, if the rest of the body look right.
My gosh.
Stop hanging off them mountains of West Virginia and stuff like that. Stop hanging.
With your teeth. That's what it is.
Using
people up there drinking what they said, drink that stuff mash. Isn't that what it is? That corn liquor they make up there? Yeah. Like potato mash or corn mash or something.
Here's the thing, Larry. You're supposed to inhale crystal meth, not chew it.
Right.
You probably do whatever they can, child. No.
Oh my God. Go ahead, Miss K.
But But thank you. But I have Godfather of Harlem, of course, my review, and also BMF review, and that's pretty much that. And yeah, that's it for this week. Friday midnight, I go on. Well, actually, it's Saturday. It's Friday into Saturday midnight, actually, and that is when I do my live recap of BMF. So.
I need to find one of you ladies that's going to review one of the Real Housewives shows so I can come on there so you get a male perspective on those shows.
Yeah.
Me too, because I got a lot of ladies that follow this channel that always say, why don't you go talk to somebody about that? Crystal watch it. A lot of my subscribers watch it. We need to find us a channel so me and Larry can go bust them in the butt. Because there's some crazy stuff that was going on with these women this past episodes, man.
Wow, I gotta watch. I've been so I can't watch too many shows now that I'm in school. So
yeah. We
are you working on like your third doctorate or something?
No, this is my first. My first doctorate and my only. I'm done with school after this. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, show both of these people some great support. They're great content providers, and you want to check them out. You definitely want to have them on your roll so that when things come out, they're there. Don't forget to like the video, comment, subscribe. I'm gonna drop something tomorrow. I don't know what it is yet. I've got a bunch of stuff I've watched that I need to get on up here for you guys to see. So just tune in. We out.
See you guys. Love
Peace, y'all.
Peace.